Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And boy, oh boy, we got an episode for you guys here today. Make sure you stick around for this one because there's going to be fireworks in this one. Make sure you go and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, this video right here, this show that we're producing may very well be the most controversial episode we have ever produced on this channel. We've created some topics in the past that has really gotten some people's bloods boiling, people going back and forth in the comment section, which we love because that's what sports is all about. But I think this one may take the cake. Now, as y'all are fully aware, Stephen Curry and the Warriors are currently up 3-0 on the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. This is no secret that this is nothing new, right? Especially if you've seen this video today, but it also depends on when you guys are seeing these videos. And Stephen Curry has been putting up some very, very good numbers these playoffs. In fact, let's take a look at his stats these playoffs. So these playoffs right now, Stephen Curry is averaging 27.1 points per game, shooting 46% from the field, 38.4% from the three. He's shooting 81.7% from the free throw line, which is a drop, which is actually quite remarkable because he's usually at 90%. He shot over 90% over the last 5 seasons in the NBA playoffs, but this year he's shooting 81.7% from the free throw line. He's getting you what? 5.1 rebounds, 5.9 assists, only 2.7 turnovers, and almost 1 steal per game. So Stephen Curry is playing very, very, very well these playoffs, and that's going to come in a little bit later as we continue on in this video. But as y'all know, the single biggest knock on Stephen Curry is that for all of his accomplishments and all of his skills, he has never been the best player on his team whenever his team won an NBA championship. Whenever a Stephen Curry team was in the NBA Finals, he was never the best player on that team. Hence, the reason he didn't win the first Finals MVP against the LeBron James and the Cavs. That award went to Andre Iguodala, and in the next 2 times, those awards went to Kevin Durant. And in that third stint, KD was actually trying to give Stephen Curry that award, and the voters still decided that Kevin Durant was going to be the Finals MVP. So Stephen Curry has 3 NBA championships with 0 Finals MVP to show. So the question then becomes, what would happen if Stephen Curry won his 4th ring and won his first Finals MVP? That's the thought. So what did we do? We decided to pose this question on our channel, and we put the question up about an hour or so from when we're producing this video, and all that depends on when you guys seeing it. And in that poll, about 1,500 people voted on that poll. And 77% of the people that voted in that poll said, because we asked the question, would Stephen Curry, we asked the question, we put up a poll, would Stephen Curry make it into the top 10? Would he be a top 10 player were he to win his 4th ring and a Finals MVP? And 77% of the people that voted said yes. In fact, Stephen Curry would be a top 10 NBA player of all time. And that result made me think of something else immediately, because I think it's a question that most people don't ask themselves. Whenever people vote, he would be a top 10 player of all time, they don't ask themselves, okay, if he's going to be a top 10, that means, and there's already a top 10 that exists, it means that someone will have to come, they'll have to replace. Stephen Curry would have to supplant someone in the top 10, which made me put up another poll on the channel. And the question was this, that we put up on the poll. If Stephen Curry were to become a top 10 player after he wins his 4th ring and his first Finals MVP, who are you taking out of the top 10 right now? And we put up 5 candidates, and the results that we saw totally floored me. These are the 5 people we put up there, 5 players. We had Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. I'm not going to be stupid enough to put Jordan, Magic, Kareem, and all. I'm not going to even waste my time doing that. So I put those 5 players in there. And to my total amazement, after about 1,000 plus votes, so these votes are going to continue to go up. But after about roughly 1,000 votes or so, 38% of the people voted for LeBron, 27% voted for Larry Bird, 15% voted for Tim Duncan, 13% voted for Shaquille O'Neal, and 8% voted for Kobe Bryant. When I saw these numbers, initially I was just like, wait a minute, what is going on here? I immediately went into the comments and started reading what people were saying, and people were like, wait, what the hell is going on here? And I was like, how the hell can Stephen Curry replace LeBron James in the top? Because listen to what I just said. The question is, if he enters the top 10, then that basically means what? You're removing. So LeBron becomes what? Number 11? Is that what we're saying? So I have to really sit back and say, okay, wait a minute. People must be thinking about this on some level, right? So what I did was I said, let me go look at their resumes. So I pulled up their resumes. Let's look at LeBron James's resume. LeBron, 4-time NBA champion, 4-time Finals MVP, 4-time regular season MVP, 18-time All-Star, although he's played more years than Stephen Curry, he's older, 3-time All-Star Game MVP. He's been on 13 All-NBA first teams, 3 second teams, 1/3. So LeBron has been on 16 All-NBA teams. He's been on 5 All-Defensive teams. He's been on a defensive player, All-Second defensive team. So he's been on 6 defensive teams. And he also won the Rookie of the Year. And he was a scoring champion in 2008. And he led the league in assists in 2020. Okay, that's LeBron's resume. Let's look at Curry. Stephen Curry is a 3-time NBA champion, 2-time regular season MVP, back-to-back, one of them unanimous, 8-time All-Star, All-Star Game MVP, he's won that once. He's been on 4 All-NBA teams, 2 second, 1/3, so he's been on what? 7 All-NBA teams. He led the league in scoring twice, so LeBron's won, fine. He led the league in steals in 2006 at 16, and he was a part of the 50-40-90 club in 2016 as well, the year he also won the MVP, if I'm not mistaken, the unanimous year. And he's a 2-time, And he's a 2-time three-point shooting contest winner. And of course, he is also in the top 70. He's also one of the top 75 players. So after going through their resumes, I came to a conclusion, and that conclusion was this. I don't see how, if Stephen Curry wins a 4th championship and his first Finals MVP, I don't see how you remove LeBron James out of the top 10 for Stephen Curry. If we're saying that's the guy he's replacing. Remember, we're going off of this poll. If the majority of the people are saying it's LeBron, I don't see how even after he does that, he supplants LeBron James. I don't see how that works. I also don't see a single argument out there for him to replace any of those other players that I mentioned. Not even one of them. Not Kobe, not Duncan, not Shaq, not LeBron, not Bird. Why? Because at no point in time was it ever in doubt that those guys were the man on their team. Those guys have won multiple championships as the undisputed best player on their team. That goes for Kobe, that goes for Duncan, that goes for LeBron, that goes for Shaq, that goes for Bird, right? That was never in question. They all have multiple Finals MVPs. No one ever questioned that. In the case of Stephen Curry, that's all we question. So that's the first thing. I don't see how he can replace LeBron. However, if he were to win another ring and tie LeBron for rings, I think it says something totally different. What it will say is that LeBron was not as dominant as the media made him out to be in his era. What we have heard is that LeBron has dominated this era. Well, how can you dominate an era when another player, a contemporary of yours, who's granted 3 years younger, has won just as many championships as you and has been to almost as many NBA finals? You can't say you dominated an era when there was another guy out there winning as much as you. That's what I think it would puncture. It would puncture that argument. Not that he will remove LeBron out of the top and replace LeBron, but it will puncture that argument. For as much as I love Kobe Bryant won 5 championships, but so did Tim Duncan in the same era. right? So it's going to hurt that particular argument of LeBron being so dominant. Maybe it may knock LeBron, down the list in the top 5, maybe where he's positioned, but I don't see how that catapults Stephen Curry into the top 10 and removes LeBron. I don't see how that works. LeBron has a more impressive career, the more impressive resume. As a basketball player, he's a better basketball player. So I don't see how that works. But after I sat back and did some research, I realized it's not as outlandish as it looks on its face when you're staring at the poll and you're looking at those percentages. Because when you look at it, your knee-jerk reaction is like, what the hell is going on here? But when you sit down and think about it, you realize that there's an argument, but the argument isn't good enough. That's just my opinion. So what I want to know from you guys is this. Number one, do you think that if Stephen Curry wins his 4th championship and his first finals MVP, he could replace any of those guys in the top 10? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamers Pro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.